All right, so now we can get this video started. Just picked up this 2006 Polaris Outlaw 500 with a IRS, the independent rear suspension. Picked this thing up pretty cheap. Doesn't run. Of course, you know how it goes here, you guys, in the garage. Nothing ever runs. As you guys can see, everything looks pretty much complete. Everything is all there. The only thing I saw that I noted was wrong is there is no air box, there is no air filter, there is no air filter cage. I already looked that up. It's about $85 for a used one. I got no choice, but I probably will buy it. But I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna buy that at this moment. The one thing that I want to do is I need to work on getting it running. I need to work to see if it's gonna start. What does it do? What does it not do? One thing I asked is, why does it not run? They told me that it did run, but it's been sitting for a year. The last time it ran, they didn't want to ride it anymore because they said it might have slipped time, is what the old owner told me. I asked him, why do you say that? He said because it was backfiring. I mean, I don't know. Could be multiple things. But with him telling me that, I didn't want to start it to cause any more damage, if there is any damage right now. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I could turn the engine over by hand and see if it hits anything, if anything, you know, feels funny or anything like that. So that's the first step we're going to do. And right away, one thing I didn't check is the oil level. This thing is dusty as hell. There might not even be any oil in here. Like how I said, if you guys saw the last video, bone dry, you guys, bone dry. Bone dry. That's not good. That means this thing might have been ran without oil. So, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to drain the oil, if there is any oil. And remember, you guys, I'm doing this video because I got a new quad, obviously. But I want to show you guys, if you buy something cheap and you really want to get into quadding, you know, dirt biking or anything like that, buy it non-running is probably the best thing to do, as in the cheapest route you can go. If you have the money, obviously buy something running. Even if it's running a little crappy, you might just need a carb clean, something, you know, basic, right? But I'm going based off what the people told me, and obviously right now there's no oil in it, so that worries me even more. So it does have the drain plug. I was thinking maybe the drain plug's gone. Oh, you guys, felt some water with that oil, and then the oil came out. But I think the guy had it like this pretty much before I picked it up. So no seat, everything was open. I haven't even checked the gas tank. Obviously, all these things you should check. If you smell some like crappy smells from the gas tank besides gas, it's probably a bad idea. That something happened to it, or it was left out for a while, or water got in the gas tank. So you definitely want to drain that. Oh, I see the chain, like the case saver thing right here. This is broken, but I mean, that's no big deal. Just gotta make sure my chain's good, I guess. But yeah, you guys, so I drained it. It felt a little bit watery. So the next thing I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna drain the radiator. See what we pull out of there. That's gonna give us a good indication on what was going on basically the last time the quad was rode. The drain plug too, it's always magnetic, and look at all that was on there. So you guys see on the end, and this is what came off of it. But it felt really watery, and that's really like, I mean, that's not that bad. It's kind of normal. It's just like tiny, tiny shavings. Okay, so there's our oil. It was a little watery, but I mean, the good thing is it had oil, I guess. Remember, worst case scenario. So, put the drain plug back on so we don't stay leaking oil. Around where the head gasket goes, I don't see any real indication of like water leaking or anything like that. Maybe something here, but I'm not too sure. What I'm actually going to do, you guys, is, and I recommend this too, before you get really into it, the first thing you want to do is definitely clean the quad. Clean everything before you even bring it into the garage, before you even start tearing it down. Which is honestly a really good idea. And I'm going to do that right now. Alright guys, I washed it. It looks 10 times better. It looks good as new. But yeah, definitely a huge thing to do, you know. Make sure you wash it before you bring it into the garage. That way everything's clean, and when you take stuff apart, you don't risk the chance of actually, you know, dropping dirt in the engine, or, you know, rocks or something, sand, whatever it may be. Obviously, this is your lower coolant hose, as in the upper, it's on that top corner usually. I can't see. Your water pump is usually located right here, where the that's where the water pump is usually located, next to where your lower coolant hose goes. So we're gonna go ahead and drain it. Got a little bucket here, and it will shoot out. So remember, it said a copper washer. I already see the copper washer. I mean, it's usually the one at the very bottom. That's where it's at. But I'll show you guys right now when I take it off. It looks like an 8mm. So let's figure out what's going on in this bad boy right here. And careful, coolant could go everywhere. Everywhere. Right now I don't even know, because I rinsed it off, put some degreaser on it, made sure everything the thing's draining. But I don't even know where it's going to drain. Usually when you take it off all the way, like, coolant just shoots out. So, let me see what I'm going to do. That relieves all the pressure. Coolant cap. The coolant, so you guys can see, it's like a green-yellow coolant, but it doesn't look, you know, like it has oil in it or anything like that. Clearly it's green. It's not the best looking coolant. Like it hasn't got drained in a while, you know. But there's no oil. It's not milky. There is coolant in it, you know what I mean? So it would be worse if there was no coolant and there was a shit ton of oil, and you would know basically the coolant went into the oil. So head gasket possibilities, you know. Okay, so far oil had water in it. Could be possibly because the carburetor here was open, exactly how you see it. It's at a downside angle when it rains. It's been raining here for the past couple months. Reason why it could have been you know. Oh, another thing I see just now. I mean, you don't see everything when you buy these things, you guys, but like the tensioner is not even on there. It's literally like held on barely. Literally, barely. As you guys can see. I don't know if you guys can see that. Check this out. Right here, you guys can barely see. And the only reason I saw was because there was water. So, there's our tensioner. I mean, maybe they were messing with that because of the timing. I don't know. The next thing I want to do was I wanted to get back to turning over the engine by hand with a ratchet and seeing if anything's going to hit or anything like that. even though it's kind of a bad idea because this is loose. I might just even tighten it up just to see what happens. So I'll actually do that right now. Oh my god. I'm telling you guys, see, this is why these things are good to do. So I just turned it a little bit, right? And the whole valve cover just came up. That's why the gas tank went like this. Now let's take off the plastics, let's take off the gas tank and see what we're working with in here. So right now, I want to make sure that the timing is right. So I'm going to open up the other cover next to the one to turn over the engine to see where the T mark is for the top dead center. And I'm going to make sure the cams are aligned where they need to be. And then we're going to put the cover back on, and then we're just going to turn over the engine by hand just to make sure nothing is hitting or anything like that. So, like how I said, it looks like they were trying to go deep into it and then didn't know what the hell they were doing or didn't know what to do or didn't want to put it back together. So, I don't know, good for us or bad for us, we don't know yet. So, I still have to move this thing to top dead center, so I got to keep my eye on the top over there, make sure everything's good while I'm doing that. Or honestly, you know what I'm going to do, you guys? I'm just going to take off the cams because I'm pretty sure that it's messed up. Something's messed up over here. And again, it looks like they're either dirty or really rusty in here. I don't know if that's the decompression or if that's just loose. Or if that's supposed to be like that. I mean, the lobes on the cams look fine. That would be another right-away indicator that something was a catastrophe. So I'm going to hold this up. Yeah, you guys, there's a valve that's hitting. Or it could be, I don't think it's the timing chain. Something's binded up. Yeah. I have to open up this bad boy, you guys. It's not looking good. I'm gonna take a look in here. Don't want to lose that timing chain in case we don't have to go down there. Kind of feels like the timing chain is binding, but I don't know that. See nothing. Yeah. Another thing we could do, which I am going to do, is I'm going to take off the carburetor. I'm going to take a look in there and see if I can clearly see that there's a bent valve, which is a possible thing that obviously the timing jumped and bent either a valve or the valve obviously just hit the piston because that's why it would have bent. These two look fine. My flashlight pops something up. That one looks fine. There's water in them though. That's one thing. I'm gonna take off these the what are they called? The buckets, and see what's going on in there. I'm gonna give them a couple of taps, and maybe they're just a little stuck since there's water in there. There could be water in the front ones too. No, I guess it wouldn't have reached. For sure in the back though. There you go, that one's blowing out bubbles. You could actually hear it drain. See that one also. So if they weren't stuck, at least the water drained. They might have been stuck though. So I'm actually going to do the same thing to the other two up front just to add at least peace of mind. And I'm probably going to have to tear it apart anyway, so, you know, never know. And this one doesn't even have a shim in it. Holy crap. This one does. Oh no. Especially with it sitting, it could have possibly even been sitting outside for a very long time, and the valves could have gotten stuck. And they were trying to figure out, you know, what was going on, and this is as far as they got. They could have been stuck open. You guys see that? Open. Perfect. So nothing is hitting, right? Nothing. So there you guys have it. Possibilities are endless, I guess. We can get pretty far with this. I'm going to take off the exhaust and try to take a look in there with the mirror or something. Make sure the valves aren't bent. I'm going to check these ones again too. So this is where we're at, you guys. So as you could tell, I took that off. And now we're taking off the header over here. It's hard to really tell. I'm trying to find the right place. But there's two bolts for each header on that side. There's one right here for this piece that connects to the back muffler. Actually, you guys, I'm going to end the video here because my batteries for the camera are pretty much all dead, and I want to record every moment for you guys. And I'm actually really looking forward to going to edit the videos so you guys can check them out. I'm gonna do the last one I did, which is just me talking about how I, you know, buy quads and how I negotiate, what to look for. And I kind of wanted to do this video to follow up other stuff on, you know, people that actually buy quads and they really don't have money, you know what I mean? Like, they want a quad, but they don't have the funds, and, you know, a lot of people can't afford everything. I know I've been there, and it's hard. You might find a really good deal, but it might be a bad deal, but this is another, you know, chance that you're taking. But anyways, I'm gonna end the video here, so I'll do like a part 3, I guess, on the Polaris Outlaw. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Thank you to all my subscribers. Peace.